Hello everyone, it's CM Kosemen again, and our expedition of Turkish vintage shopping arcades continues, this time in the southwestern Aegean town of Ayvalık. I was actually a visitor to this place for a completely unrelated reason. I was a guest artist, a painter at a local psychedelic trance festival, out of all things. But in between my tours of duty as a painter for 3 consecutive days, I had ample time to explore Ayvalık's historic town center. Now, Ayvalık used to have a substantial Greek population, and their architectural traces are everywhere. And many people document this in touristic videos, photographs, and whatever. But I wanted to explore the old shopping malls and the shopping arcades that were built in the 1990s. Here we start with the Hasan Gürsoy arcade, built in 1990, more than 29 years ago. And right off the bat, you see the title in Greek announcing it as a touristic bazaar. It actually said Elleniki Agora, which means Greek arcade. But in English it wrote tourist arcade, but it doesn't really matter. It's a really luxurious, opulent, airy and beautiful place that has since fallen into neglect, and the old shops have been replaced by the tobacconists and this broken, glitchy LED sign. What does this shop sell? Can you tell? I can't. And you know, the once luxurious stores have given way to local, more real-life shops. For example, because this is a seaside town, here we see a fishing supply store. And right there is a tobacconist selling water pipes and stuff. And there's a store that does deals for real estate. But anyways, here we go deeper. The most beautiful highlight of this place is this beautiful octagonal atrium with a skylight and plants still growing in it. Right now, the most noticeable establishment here was this tattoo parlor, and they were playing this bad trap music and rap music non-stop. Here, by the way, is a closed gate of the business center. Here's a sign for authentic tobacco, and here we go. A beautiful view. This is the thing I live for. Look at the cat going about his daily business. The empty shops and the beautiful turn of the century architecture, still preserving its beauty and luxury. And here is a pond with a beautiful, well-lit appearance and an ugly garden gnome. Doesn't take too much imagination to picture this place in its heyday. The pond probably had water flowing in it, and children were playing around it. But right now, the upper floors of this business center are almost completely empty. And dig that Christmas light action right there. Another LED light. One of the neatest things here was the fact that real plants were still growing here. Oh, by the way, this is a henna shop, and this is the mannequin for the henna shop. So this henna thing is a comparatively recent tradition in which young brides start their marriage by wasting substantial amounts of money with this kind of pseudo-traditional gathering, whatever. I don't like it much, but I love this view. Take a look. Drink it in, everyone. It's amazing that plants are still growing here. I mean, I'm so used to these antiseptic shopping malls from Istanbul that it's really a sign of relief. And here we have another real estate shop that specializes in selling Greek houses and fields and olive fields and stuff. And here we go. The henna mannequin is there, and the octagonal skylight climbs up And here is the henna shop. For one night you could splurge on these and feel like a better type of person, I guess. And this is a real estate shop, I guess, that sunk all of its investment costs into these chairs, but no signage or letters. Maybe a big guy comes here and just does land deals and flips Greek houses and stuff. But there are no signs, which I find a little strange. Another real estate shop, again with some beautiful plant game going. And here is this wasted corner of the arcade, and this was a bizarre and beautiful view. I don't think this mannequin has been touched for a decade at least. Anyways, once more we see the beautiful rectangular skylights that allow ample illumination in all side corridors without the need for electricity. And here is a bag of cat food now full of trash. The beautiful pink marble on the floor bears testament to the beauty and the one-time luxury of this place. And up here there's an actual bygone plant and this beautiful octagonal, I guess, skylight. This was a really cozy place to be. I mean, I could really picture myself hiring or outright buying one of these shops and turning it into a library and art studio. And here's some beautiful bygone flowers and some sort of rugose succulent. They're still blooming in this place. It's like a greenhouse. It was small but beautiful. A dash of color to our depressed city-dwelling eyes. And on we go. Now, there's an architect's office here. And here is actually one of the most bizarre things I've seen. So it says, "Dear friends, do not flush paper down the toilet. It causes blockages. And if you block it, I will close the toilet." It's a complaint, followed up by a threat. It says, "Whoever the lady who keeps dumping wet tissues into the toilet, one day you will be caught. You are being followed." This was strange. And also this is strange. "Pull the door and push," the sign said. So I guess they drove the custodian of the place nuts by continually blocking these toilets with wet wipes and stuff. And on we go. Now this third floor, as you can see, is completely abandoned. Empty shops, full of promise of what may have been. And I really wanted to have a studio here and live out the rest of my days in Ayvalık. Oh, here is actually... Okay, so these documents, whatever they are, in the bottom corners, they are dated 2009. I don't think they've been moved for a decade. And this window was crowded, full of flies. You could hear them. It really had a dismal air. So this wing of the arcade in all floors was really dismal and depressing. Here's some flies and some window glimpses from the rest of Ayvalık. But also here was this nice advertising company, the Ayvalık Advertising Agency.com. I first thought it was one of these defunct businesses, but I actually looked them up online and they're a pretty functional, very nice, well-to-do advertising company. So kudos on them. And on we move to the Kayalar İşhanı, the Kayalar Business Arcade. This is a short trip. I started this trip from the top of these spiral flight of marble stairs, curving like the loops of a giant ammonite, down to this really decrepit and dilapidated looking hallway. The old guy was having a snack. Here's a tea house with seats for your friends. Sit down and while away the day. Sit down and have a toast. There's these stores with cars and touristic pictures, but I don't know what they were selling or what services they were offering. This was a store for plastic bags and containers. And once again we see the gateway. So you see the old tenants have left and these shops get inhabited by all sorts of practical businesses, more real life businesses before the end comes to the life cycle. But isn't it beautiful? You could sit here, have a toast with your girlfriend and make out. And here's a florist, here's an old guy, a suspicious looking lady wondering what I was filming, some boutiques and stuff, a couple arguing, half drinking can of Fanta, and here's this beautiful thing. It's a fortune telling bubblegum machine. Now I will tell you how it works. First you put in some coins, and if you get a red gum, it's love, yellow for separation, blue for happiness, white for health, orange for success, green for money. And you look up and you get more yellow gums than everyone else, any other color. So it offers a lot of separation. And here's the rest of the arcade. Florists and clothes shops are a recurring motif here. And off we go. And in we go to the Fami Wirral arcade. Once upon a time, until quite recently, this place was the site of a cinema, but now it has closed down. And the beautiful pink marble bears testament. And this photo was really interesting. It's a picture of the old garage that used to occupy this place before the cinema that later turned into a shopping arcade was built. And this photo, I believe, was from the 1930s or something. And this place is still operational. A lot of people have offices here, logistic companies, insurance companies, construction companies, lawyers. And you can still see really elegant details, such as this spiral concrete staircase. Concrete somehow made to resemble grey marble, and it curves upwards like the spine of a giant animal. And here we have two more florists and the square stairs leading up to the cinema, or what used to be a cinema. Here's a refrigerator full of flowers, some more flowers and pots, a shop selling children's school needs or something. It was unnecessarily colorful. This scene was beautiful. Dying palms, succulent plants, and fluorescent light. This is the Turkish mall aesthetic that really pushes my buttons, baby. Some more cacti and stuff. Let's go this way. Some bags, already out of fashion, but maybe not here. Rent-a-car office. Oh, and the stationery shop. I love these shops. They got all these papers and notebooks, and you just want to buy some empty notebooks and write the book of your life. Oh yeah. And these guys were just passing through. Yeah, some antiques and stuff. A side exit looking really beautiful and well lit. But I'm curious about the spiraling staircase here. So I'm gonna go up that one in a bit after we pass these florists. And up it curves like a cement strand of DNA. And this place was really lofty and really airy, and even though all the shops here are somewhat old, you still have a refreshing sense when you step in here. And up we go. It really looks like the backbone of an animal, a giant fossil animal, the way it curves. But of course, if the vertebral discs are that narrow, it's probably an aquatic animal. That's a fossil joke that only a few of you will understand. And here are the hallways, hosting a lot of lawyers' offices, insurance offices. I really didn't want to go there. I didn't want to disturb the people who were working at the time. One last look down the florists' atrium. And up we go. More flights of stairs. Everywhere is white and well lit. You could come here to work and have a really great time at work because no one will interrupt you. Here's an insurance office. And I'm sure all these offices have great views as well. Unfortunately, the top floor was locked. I could have gone up to the rooftop there. And it's really sad. Here's a accountant's office. And up here is an arts workshop. So someone else had the idea of having an art studio here. So all the more good on them. I hope you have a nice productive time here. I envy you. And down we look. It's really beautiful and it's kind of saddening how this place is no longer a cinema. I guess we've crossed that point where technology turns certain social experiences into crap. But anyways, this was my video shopping mall expedition, the arcade expedition in Ayvalık. I want to thank you all for coming along with me, and I hope you enjoyed this rarely seen perspective of this beautiful seaside Turkish town. All of you Patreon supporters, you really made this possible for me. And also special thanks to the Magic of the Chaos organization crew. They invited me to this psytrance thing and it made this whole video possible. So thanks for watching everyone. Have a nice day. Please consider supporting me on Patreon. And I've been getting some feedback. I will continue with these arcade expedition videos, but I'll soon get back to our regular schedule of weird and insightful science and paleontology related videos. But thank you all. Have a nice day and I love you. Goodbye.